Hey, just wanted to show a super easy way to finish any of your wood projects. If you're like me and you like to make small little uh, boxes like this and you're just looking for a very easy way to finish it, I know there's a ton of different options out there, but one that I found to be really easy and just smells like heaven is called Odie's oil. And I think I just got this on Amazon. Came in a little kit. Came with these little stir sticks. You definitely want to stir this up when you first get going with it. Has some terry cloth towels, little scouring pads. You can usually get quite a few applications out of these, but a friend of mine turned me onto this. He knows quite a bit about different finishes, and he knows that I'm a total hack, so he recommended this one as being an easy, fast way to make something look really good. So you can see that that's the bare wood there on this side, and if I flip that over, you can see where I've put some of that oil on already. But I wanted to show you how you do this, because if you are familiar with Odie's oil, you know that a little goes a very long way. So after you stir that up just a little bit, you can just get a little dab will do ya. And then you take your scouring pad and just kind of buff that into the wood. I do like the texture of these scouring pads. They really help to get that to penetrate down into the grain. These little projects are a lot of fun. Not terribly difficult to make, and kind of put your own signature and flair to each one. I definitely an amateur, so I appreciate a finish that looks really good, protects really well, smells, again, so good. It smells like heaven. And a lot of times if I'm making something with cedar, I'll leave it, at least some of it bare, so that you can smell that cedar, but this smells so dang good. It's tough to not just lather it onto everything. So you put that on there, work it in real well, and then just work your way around. I wanted to do it on one other piece of wood to give you an idea of that color change. So this is just a laminated piece of wood there. When I make these boxes, I'll usually just put this on before I do the hinges, just so I'm not working or having to work around the hinge. I probably use too much of this when I put it on, but that's okay. Kind of soaks up into the scouring pad, and then if you push down on it a little bit, it'll come out. Might be kind of hard to see on the camera, but I really barely put any on there. Again, that texture of the scouring pad really helps you to get it down into all that grain. Generally, I really don't sand a ton. I kind of like the a little bit of texture on there. I know there's a lot of people a lot more talented than me when it comes to finishing. Finishing is not my favorite thing to do. I just kind of like to work on the shaping of the wood itself, but we're putting it together anyways. What do you think of that? So now that's going to sit on there. I mean, I usually have a few things going on. That'll sit on there for a little while, and then I'll come back and buff it off. But that's the treated side. That's the bare side. Let's set this down here for a minute. You can see where I've put a little bit on there. I might do a little bit more. Sorry, my hand's in the way. This is usually where I find out that I haven't sanded off all the glue. That's okay. I'm usually just making these as gifts. When you're giving stuff away, people aren't quite as critical. I think they just like to know that you were thinking about them when you were making it for them. And that's what the intent for this one is, making it for a really nice friend of a friend. And again, this just makes it super easy to finish. See the contrast to that edge there. Set that to the side for a minute. You definitely don't have to wear gloves when you're doing this, but anything you touch immediately after using this stuff is going to have its own special coat of Odie's oil. But I love working with that really aromatic cedar as well, but this is a really close second when it comes to how it's going to smell. And I really never know if I'm going to do a second coat on this or if the first one's going to be okay. But I love hearing from other folks that have been doing this a lot longer than me. Love to hear their tips and their tricks, and it's amazing, this YouTube university, what people are willing to share, and I think it's just awesome that people are willing to put it out there, kind of share that knowledge, share that craft. I think it's good for your brain to be making stuff and learning new stuff, and I think woodworking is still cheaper than doing drugs, but it doesn't always feel that way. kind of how that's going to look. So I'll come back in a few minutes and polish that up. Do a little buffing. Okay, given that a little time to soak in, do its thing. And I'll just take this. Oh, this one's been used quite a bit. Try to find me a clean spot, I guess. Just kind of buff it in, buff it off. And I've used this before where I've just honestly taken off kind of just the majority of that Odie's oil, and then I'll just let it sit. The rest of it, sometimes it'll sit in the back of my car, and just the temperature, you know, getting a little warmer throughout the day helps it to soak in a little bit. It's a pretty good way to have a air freshener as well in your car. I like the terry cloth towels. I haven't had too many problems with lint and whatnot, but might be famous last words. It's kind of hard to tell on the camera, but you'll be able to see the change in the sheen a little bit. You just determine how much you want to, or how much elbow grease you want to put into that. How much you want to keep buffing out. I just think that makes it look pretty. Coming up next is my least favorite thing, and that's putting on hinges. I think I need to watch a few more videos on YouTube on how to add hinges. But yeah, that's the gist of what that guy's going to look like. I think I am going to leave most of the wood inside bare just so you can see the contrast and enjoy what that grain looks like as well. But yeah, if you haven't given it a try, definitely worth it. It's not the most expensive thing in the world to use in your finishing. Lots of other fun options, but if you're going for one that is easy to put on, easy to take off, is going to last a long time, really good coverage, really good smell, tough to go wrong with that Odie's oil.